We've got the Chicago street race on this weekend in NASCAR, potentially the last ever NASCAR street race around Chicago. There's rumours about it potentially being replaced by San Diego next season. Although at the time of recording, that is yet to be confirmed. But 2 years ago, around the first Chicago street race in 2023, we saw an incredible Cup Series debut for a certain Shane Van Gisbergen. SVG has been competitive here over the last 2 years, of course, winning in 2023. 2024, though, ended rather in tears for him, unfortunately, but he was really competitive, and he's kind of forged himself a career in NASCAR as being someone who's really good around road courses and street circuits. He managed to get his second NASCAR Cup Series win, of course, around the Mexico City round earlier in the season, and I reckon he's going to be feeling pretty confident going into the race this season. However, SVG has been reflecting on that emotional day, that incredible debut in Illinois' biggest city. So let's have a look at what he said here, guys. I've got the full story with all the quotes right here as always. When asked about the 2-year anniversary of his first win in the NASCAR Cup Series, he said, and I quote, "It doesn't feel like it's been 2 years, but so much has happened since then. Yeah, amazing. We had a really strong car there last year too, and had the potential to win it again. I'm looking forward to getting back there. Obviously, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this track, so it's a pretty cool and special place." Of course, SVG these days is full-time in the Cup Series, but the fact is, if he didn't win that race on debut, it's entirely possible that he may have not got a full-time contract for this year and still be kind of a part-time driver like he was in 23 and 24. It's impressive enough that this was his first start in the NASCAR Cup Series, but I believe he'd never started in the Xfinity Series either, which he was a regular in 2024. I remember he had a really good win around Sonoma as well last season. And SVG has said that moving to the United States and going full-time into stock cars has really changed his life around completely, doing a 180-degree spin effectively. And unsurprisingly, SVG has been very complimentary about the layout in Chicago, which has been a very controversial topic among NASCAR fans for sure. Former drivers and a lot of fans saying that it's not true NASCAR, it's not the NASCAR they grew up with and love. SVG had this to say on the layout, the track layout in Chicago. He said, quote, "Turn 1 and turn 5 face each other. You're in the fastest part of the track and there's a concrete wall in front of you. It's great. It's so much risk versus reward. I think it's one of the coolest things, but it's difficult when you get it wrong. I think for a street track, NASCAR has done very well for their first go." And it very much was a perfect storm for him effectively in 2023, not only because of course this was his first start on a street circuit, something he's much more experienced at, but also the fact it was in the wet as well, which a lot of NASCAR drivers are very inexperienced in as well, so that may well have helped him. Of course it was wet in Mexico when he managed to get that second victory as well a few weeks back. But for those probably thinking, well, he's raced in V8 supercars over in Australia before, sure, that's good experience for him. And in a sense, maybe it was the fact it's actually sports cars, but these NASCAR Cup Series cars are markedly different, which he explained. He said, and I quote, "The weight of the car is very different. It's heavier in NASCAR. The way the car corners is different. The downforce is over the top instead of underneath. So the way it drives is very low to the ground and stiff, whereas supercars were high and rolled around. So they look similar on paper, but they are way, way different. They are close, but they are also not close." But part of his decision to move to NASCAR may well have been down to the fact he's not a fan of the current regulations in that series. He said, quote, "The current version of the Australian supercar is a piece of which is one of the reasons why I left. But the old supercar was awesome. It was a really cool car, so I don't miss the supercar." Fair enough. Not mincing his words there. So there you go, guys. Can SVG get a second win of the season, a second win around Chicago for the potential swan song of the event? Your thoughts are appreciated in the comments below. He is absolutely going to be in the mix for that, no doubt. And for much more content on the world of stock car racing and all other kinds of racing series, keep it tuned here to themotorsportreports.com. See you soon, guys. Have a great time.